What up, everybody? It's your boy Cristo coming back at you live. It's May 18th, 2023, number 14. As always, got my sidekick.
What's going on, guys? As always, it's me, Rocky Raccoon, living La Vida Loca. It's Thursday, my Friday. What's going on, man?
Living La Vida Loca, baby!
Living La Vida
Gotta get up.
Loca.
Well, I'm excited, dude. It's a Denver Nuggets season right now, boy, and we
Killing
are
it.
up. We are up.
Game 2 tonight, baby.
We are
Game 2
up.
tonight. Let's go.
Lakers versus the Nuggets, game 2.
Game 2, Ball Arena, balling
0-1.
out.
We are up.
We're going to smash them, man. We're going to smash them, and we're going to show them what real basketball's about, and we're going to show them why Joker should have got the MVP, and we're going to show them that we're not a franchise to joke about because we're serious, and we mean it, and we're here to win the championships. Malone said, it doesn't matter if we get in the semifinals, conference finals. Hell, it doesn't even matter if we get in a final. The only thing that matters, winning the championship, baby. And like I said,
Bring it home.
we're bringing it home, baby. And if we do bring it home, I hope to see you guys all at that beautiful parade. I'll be the guy at the
This will
very
be the
top of the
first one they
spotlight.
got. This is the first one they'll get. It'll be exciting.
First one ever, yep. First one ever.
Yeah, man. It just makes it more that exciting because you just went to the game a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? So it just makes it that more exciting. They're getting closer to the next step of being one of the best in the league
best.
this year.
Yep. I mean,
Hands down, dude.
they got a lot of good players on the team. They got a lot of good talent, and the only thing is a lot of people are writing them off because they don't have that championship. You know what I mean? But they're getting it. It's coming.
Yeah, a lot of people say that about Joker too. They can't call him the GOAT yet because he doesn't have one of those championships
Right.
behind him. Like they say, all the GOATs had at least a couple championships behind him. Well, I'll tell you this right now: this is his first one, and it's not going to be his last one.
Oh no, man!
Well,
He's going down in history.
Every season, it's been progressively getting better and better and better
Yeah.
and better. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So this is our year. This is it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another MVP on another year. You know,
Mhm,
I still think he should have got it this year, but hey, what do I know? You know,
Yeah. And then you got who's on the other side?
you got the Lakers.
Celtics and the Heat, right?
Well, the other series. They got the Celtics and the Heat, and
And who's up? I think the Heat won the other day.
so Celtics knocked the Heat out last year, and then went to the finals, and then Celtics lost. So Heat's definitely got some bad blood this year. To try to come out and win right away. Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler's got a lot riding on his shoulders because last year he missed that game-winning shot that could have tied him up and kept the series alive, but didn't happen. So I know he's always thinking about that. They got a lot riding on this too.
And the Heat's out of two key players right now, because they made a big old statement about what's his name making 40 points on his own, making a comeback for the Heat.
Benjamin Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a monster, man. He's
So-
really good. He's really good. Speaking of sports too, man, I saw that one of those fighters changed.
Oh, you're talking about Francis Ngannou?
he changed.
So he finally picked an organization to
Yeah.
go to, being testing that free agency. Yeah, he went to PFL, man, Professional Fight League, man. Isn't that crazy?
So I saw that, and then literally like right after that, I saw like Dana White posted up like all these crazy cards coming up, and then posted up like the next pay-per-view event, and they're like stacked cards, man.
Yeah, I don't know if he did that to kind of snub him out for his debut, but I bet you when he does put a stamp on his debut, I bet you Dana White is going to put on another spectacular card just to snub him out so
Oh,
no
for
one
sure,
watches
man.
that kind of stuff,
For sure. And the thing is, it's like it probably will snub him out because not so many people are.
Going to want to watch it.
I mean, not only that, but like they're like, where do we watch it? You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, it's going to, you know what? Nowadays, things are costing so expensive. It's going to be either watch the UFC pay-per-view that
Right.
day or watch PFL pay-per-view that day, you know?
Well, and it's like, you want to go down to the bar and you're like, hey, they have the fights on at the bar. It's like, what ones? You know what I mean? It's gonna get like that to a point where, oh, they're not doing this one's doing UFC, this one's doing PFL, and this one over here is doing the whatever.
The thing about that, dude, living in this small town that we live in is like we can't go to a bar and be like, hey, you got the fights?
Yeah.
There used to be
Bruising Bikes. That place down there.
Somebody used to get it once. I don't know, once in a blue moon, but it was like on accident, or you had to ask him or something. But they don't do that.
You went in and paid for it to watch it. Yeah. Yeah, that's some pretty crazy stuff, man.
Isn't that crazy though? There is some places where they're like, if you want to watch it, you got to pay for it. I'm like, dude, you just made $100 off this one family coming in right here. It'll cover for it and entertain most of the people here, and they're gonna want to sit here for another couple more drinks, or
like,
or
no,
call their friends or something. I don't. What do
this
I
is
know?
a family establishment, sir.
What do you think? This is Buffalo Wild Wings?
Speaking of Buffalo Wild Wings, man, they're going. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna switch over to Wingstop, man.
The Wingstop, dude.
To Wingstop.
You know who's it's got his foot in Wingstop is
a
Rick?
Big Chicken. Oh, Rick Ross.
Yeah.
He would have it.
Yeah, I think it's
I think that's honestly
I think
the way
he's
to
like
go,
his
though.
second. He said his second store he franchised hit $1 million in 1 year.
Hey, man, if you can do it, that's the way to go to invest your money in places like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some ain't gonna make it, but invest your money. I think that's wise. If I was making money like him, eating pears every day, I'd be probably feeling pretty good, man.
Love these pears, man.
Love
these
them. Pears, man.
And there was another fight that we were talking about earlier about John Jones and Tyson Fury. It's like a feud that's going around. Did you see that? Where Tyson Fury was kind of upset with Joe Rogan saying, like, you short, fat, bald man, you don't know what you're talking about. He's like, if you lock me in a room with John Jones, there's only one of us going to come out. And then John Jones retaliated back, if you lock me in the cage, this ain't no boxing match, buddy. So.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Who do you think would win that?
In what
Because
type of situation?
Okay, well, let's just put him in a cage.
In the cage?
Because Tyson Fury said that if you lock me in a room, I believe he said that there's only one man going to come out, and it's going to be me. So
no.
Who do you think it would be? John Jones?
In the cage, it'd be John. Out of the cage, it'd be Tyson.
Let's just say in like a living room. You know,
like no holds barred, John,
yeah,
for sure,
you know
John, the whole way, yeah, all the way, man. That dude's a black belt and anything,
dude,
everything.
He's 20-0, in my opinion. 21-0.
21 and 0.
Yo,
21 and 1.
Is that Matt?
If that dude wouldn't have been a little baby,
Yeah.
Elbows to the head is what it was, right?
Elbows, 90 degrees. Yeah, it was lame. The dude was already out. Dude was already pummeled.
Oh, yeah, man.
I forgot his name.
He should get that stricken from his record.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel you, man. If there was a no holds barred and they were in a room together, Jones would walk out with Tyson's trunks on, man. You know what I mean?
He's like, what? Paparazzi are like, what happened? Why does John Jones has Tyson Fury's boxers on? Why is there a hole in the back?
Let's just say he's the Gypsy King.
He's the Gypsy King.
Gypsy King.
I'll fight all your bums. You know who I was watching today on a podcast? I was watching Theo Von and Will Sal. I think it's Will Sal.
Mm-hmm.
I think, is that familiar? That comedian. He does all the voice impersonations.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing those today. He was doing Jesse Ventura, and Alex Jones impressions today, dude. That guy is so funny, man. And just the way he talks, and he was just making light comedy about Jesse Ventura, about like his conspiracies and his governor, and then talking crazy about Alex Jones. You know how he gets all crazy, like, dude, and animated, like, and talking about Bohemian Grove and the pedophilia ring and the lizard people.
All right, I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. So I just saw the story that there's people living under this house right now, man, for thousands of years. There's tunnels going across this city, man, that people don't know about. No, man, but so you know how, like, when you talk about stuff, you look stuff up, your phone develops that, like, algorithm of what they think you're looking for. And so stuff constantly pops up on your phone and stuff. So recently, I just been, like, coming up across, like, the wildest stuff.
Oh, no,
The wildest things, like conspiracy theories back and forth, and how, like, people are saying, like, giants or that they were real. I think the biggest the biggest thing.
You know what?
What?
Go ahead.
Are they real?
Go ahead, tell me.
No, I was gonna say the biggest thing that I keep running into is, like, how there was an advanced civilization before ours, and that we just like wiped it all out. Like we saw like some of these structures and whatnot, and then we just said there was like, the big Chicago fire or the earthquake of 29. You know what I mean? And then like you go back in all these structures, and it's like, how in the world did we make these when we were still in horse and buggy?
Dude, that is so interesting to me, dude, because your algorithm is probably the same as mine. Because I've been like these things been popping up on my phone where like, it's more on like the East Coast, not East Coast, like Louisiana, Alabama, Arkansas. There's like mounds, Georgia, Louisiana. There's been mounds out there, and what do you call it? The Smithsonian, the museum
that keeps all the stuff.
Yeah, that keeps all the records and everything. So there's the records on like, back in the day, some guy like pin dropped like a whole bunch of like dotted a whole bunch of like mounds, either like not burial mounds, but just like mounds, like where they had like tribes there, or like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, just like had those
so just like huts were on them and stuff like that. So but each of them had like a representation of our own tribe and stuff like that. And then you were talking about like giant skulls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then in the Smithsonian, it said that in the 1900s or something like that, they said that they have on record that they need to destroy some of these. No one knows why, but it's on record saying you need to destroy these skulls, and I seen a picture of it. I don't know if the picture's real, but it has to be real, because it's like, what the heck, man?
Yeah, supposedly they got a lot of stuff at the Smithsonian that's never even seen the light of day.
Okay, remember earlier in the earlier podcast we were talking about Joe Rogan and that dude who found the mammoth tusks in that river,
in the mammoth graveyard.
Okay, remember he said he
gave, the ones that threw them away. He
said he gave them to the Smithsonian people, and the Smithsonian people threw them away. You see what I'm saying?
They're like, oh man, we had these already and we threw them away. We don't want them back.
So isn't
crazy.
that crazy how we're reading these stories from like these people documenting the Smithsonians, or taking pictures of like the documents and stuff like that, and it comes to tuition on like the Joe Rogan podcast or something like that? That's crazy.
It is crazy, and I think why it's surfacing so much now is because a lot of people have access to the internet, technology, and you have like a lot of personal like they're like being trained like their own private detective. They're digging their own stuff up, and they're researching their own stuff and pulling articles up from different states, different cities, and they're finding this and they're questioning and everything, and and it kind of like makes you question things, but you're trying not to.
You can't be afraid to question anything, because
you also don't want to be portrayed as a freaking loony bin. You know what I mean?
There's a full, like the conspiracy theorists and the facts. You know what I mean? There's like a thin line between it, and you don't want to be known as a kook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's just that guy. No one believes him, and then one day you stumble upon a dinosaur bone, because we do live in southern Colorado. Stumble upon a dinosaur bone, no one's gonna believe you, but it's like, dude, it's right here. But you're that crazy kook guy that you keep talking about this crazy stuff.
And it's just crazy, because all throughout history, you hear about people always saying, well, this is how it works. And you always have that other side that's like, nope, this is how it works. And the way you're saying that makes you crazy. And it makes you like not mainstream. That's not what we're trying to treat our people or teach our people. And then like, hundreds of years later, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, that guy was right. You know what I mean? It's like how we thought, we were the center of the universe. We thought everything revolved around Earth. And then that was mainstream science. Like that was in stone. That was like, hey, this is how it is. And if you think otherwise, you're crazy. And no one's going to believe you, no matter how many facts you have, no matter how much stuff you can prove. And, it comes out later. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're not the center of the universe. So all to you guys that tried to explain that to us, and we, burned you at the stake. Yeah, back in the day.
So I mean,
it's just crazy. People are trying to like. I feel like there are people out there right now that are trying to like explain things like that to us, but we're like so like I
think we're so
restricted into thinking that way.
I think we're that way because. Like you said, there's like documents out there that saying, or there was different civilizations here, different cultures here, not resembling, across the pond culture, they said that we were the first settlers, Christopher Columbus or something, and
Right.
he came on indigenous people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was like way more people than before those people. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And there was different people besides the people that they're talking about then and there. Because they're finding these burial mounds with like 10,000 BC, like vases and charms and gold little ingots and stuff like that, and they're carbon dated from a long time ago. You know what I mean? That's way before Columbus was even here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And then the stuff they're finding, they're not even supposed to have this technology to make this stuff.
Right.
Whatever the technology may be. I mean, I don't know what it would be then, but before
ancient civilization, man.
Before I came over here, I was watching this documentary about I can't remember, but it was those people that carved out a whole temple on the side of a cliff, all out of one stone.
The Buddhist looking one?
Yeah. And they said it only took them 18 years, and everything is like precise. Like you could take like a laser out there, and everything would be straight. And they said that local legend is the only thing that they have to kind of like guess the time frame and of how long it took them to build. And they just said like local legend says 18 years for something like that.
Is that the one where the structure, they said it started from the top to the bottom?
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts,
well, nowadays you're starting to see, like you said, a lot of people are venturing out, trying to find their own, answers to the questions that they've been looking for since they were young kids. And, people our age are going out there with like GoPros and cameras, and they're finding things like this in our own backyards, man. That's the craziest thing,
Yeah. And I think it's the thing that I'm super excited for right now, man, is us going back to the moon.
Yeah.
Like when that happened, I wasn't even born, and so like I only read, was able to see about it about like newspapers my mom saved from back in the day. And then even then you hear about all these people saying that it wasn't real, never happened. I wasn't there to watch the ship launch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you see videos of it all the time. So like, what are people going to say when we actually get up there? Hopefully next year, maybe, get up there and then have these videos, because our technology is way more advanced. We should be able to at least somehow put like some maybe live camera up on there, that everyone can look at.
Well, I think the Chinese did that, and then the camera broke, or the pod broke when it hit the moon or something like that, and then it was up. So I believe the next person that gets up there, dude, is gonna reveal something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah,
and the thing is, I think they're trying to go on the dark side of the moon, right? Also, they're trying to do which one?
I think
there's got to be multiple moon missions, right?
From
different agencies. You know what I mean? NASA, SpaceX.
So I think NASA and SpaceX are teaming up for this one.
Okay, and then you got you got the Russians trying to go up there, and then you got the Chinese trying to go up there, and then you got I think India has their own space.
Their own space program.
Yeah,
they do.
Who else has it? I don't know if.
I think Europe has one too.
Europe, maybe Germany. Germany, yeah. Germany, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you have any type of advanced weaponry, you probably have the technology to go to the moon as well. So all those people that are still high up in that arms race, you like the U.S., Russia.
I think if
China.
You put a satellite up in orbit, I think you're capable of going to the moon.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's based off of your weaponized thing.
Exactly,
I bet you that's one of the first things they try to figure out without telling anybody is just put this in orbit. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Well, let's go put a weapon up there just in case something happens.
Exactly,
and then nowadays, I don't know when we were younger, I guess it wasn't really that much talked about, but nowadays you always hear that word space junk.
Yeah.
And then you see articles. Then you see articles. I don't know. It's what do they say? It's about statistics. About 70% of them made up or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I see these articles about space junk, and you see like thousands or maybe 1 million pieces of debris around, orbiting the Earth and stuff like that.
Just of broken down satellites.
Yeah.
Stuff that's gotten stuck in our orbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man. Is that what is gonna happen when we go into space? And they're taking pictures back of the Earth, and it's a freaking sphere.
It looks like,
or if it comes back and it's freaking flat, and we're like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But I'm just saying, I think this is going to put a lot of
it's a turtle,
questions to rest. we're all living in the eye of a blue eye of a huge giant. That's what it is.
Oh, it was Osiris.
Yeah, but it's gonna be.
I
It's
thought you
gonna
were
be
talking about when I was talking
intense.
about space junk. I thought you were gonna say they were launching and they look back at us. We look like a foil ball, like those foil spheres that are going around on the phone, where like you get a tin foil and you smash it up and you keep hitting it with a hammer.
Oh, and it's
so
like,
and
yeah.
you shine it down and it's like a foil ball.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we're gonna look like because we have so much junk out there.
It's nuts, man. I just want to see it with my own eyes, man. Because I can listen to stuff all day. I can pull up pictures on the internet all day, but when it comes down to it, I'm not seeing it with
That's
my own eyes.
fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, I just want to see it. See what it looks like, see what it's about, see if see who's telling the truth and who's not. I mean, but in all honesty, man, like, can you really call these guys crazy for saying that the Earth is flat? I mean, I guess that's their own opinion, but it's just,
Hey, man.
everyone's got their own opinion,
Hey, man.
Like, I don't think that the Earth is flat. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Okay.
it's definitely,
I was
it's
like,
definitely
hey,
a
man.
sphere. But all I'm saying is that, like, and that's why I
I mean,
talked about, like, way back in the day before, people knew what gravity was and stuff like that. They're like, this is how, we revolve around the universe, not
John
the universe
Mayer.
revolves around us, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think these people are out there just trying to figure things out, man, trying to figure out what makes sense to them. But like I said, there's that fine line of, like, that you might cross, and people are just gonna think you're loony, man, and they're like, you can't trust anything that guy talks about.
Well, then again, that's how, like, some of the greatest inventions or the greatest things come about. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being your own person and your own free will.
Right.
Here's the thing about being your own person, your own free will. You have your own soul and stuff like that. But nowadays, I was just reading this article about this guy. He's like, most people don't even know what that is anymore. They're so programmed and in tune of following something they don't even know they're following. They're so just like sheeple. Some people call them sheeple. They're just so dedicated to doing the same thing over and over again. And I've been in that cycle, and I don't know if I'm in that cycle now, but at least I'm aware of, like, the conditioning on what's going on around me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think as long as you're self-aware, man, I think that's the most important thing, and that's the most that's probably the biggest thing I always tell my kids, my wife, is just always be aware where you are, people around you, and I always tell her it's good to just know what's going on, not in just our little city, but in the world, just to kind of stay up with current stuff. Even though it's, like, stressful as it may seem, but yeah, I think it's just
dangerous out there, man.
Yeah, just be self-aware,
Yeah, we always talk about being self-awareness, because as, like I said, people are just so, like, they're so in tuned into something they don't even know what they're doing half the time. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
man.
Their emotions are not there, so they're just going to go do something on a whim,
Even
though they don't even think of the
repercussions.
repercussions, actions and responsibilities, because it's like I think I don't want to call it demonetized, but their brain is just, like, shut off because they watch so much things that it doesn't even have emotion or empathy.
The second you're old enough, we put you in school for 8 hours to listen to somebody tell you what to do. And if you really think about it, like, they're pretty much just conditioning us to be like a working class, and that's pretty much it. When you go through school,
Well, they did that when they started making, like, I don't know, houses and I don't know. We could have been in our leaf underwear still. You think?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all what they want us, and they, being the higher power, the government and stuff like that. I think it started off wholesome,
1%ers,
and then now it's we're just pretty much being conditioned and groomed to just go work a 9-to-5 job and come back, pay bills, and that's pretty much it. Because you're going to school, half the time the textbooks there are so outdated. They're teaching you old stuff. And then if you're fortunate enough to go to a school that has money to buy new textbooks,
well, that's a private school. And that's thousands of dollars.
Yeah, who can, like you said, the 1%.
Less than half of us can't. Less than, like, probably the population can afford that for their children.
And then you think
they have public school.
Those people aren't gonna, when they graduate, they're not gonna go having to work a job to make it through college and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying is like a lot of people are thinking this way, and like it's why a lot of people aren't wanting to go to school anymore because what is it that they're teaching us? I think school's a great thing to do. I'm not saying that you should drop out of school. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to school. I'm just saying is that if you are in school, maybe open up your mind a little bit more to just what the teachers are trying to teach you. Cruise through your own stuff, do your own research about the things that you're currently learning about. Because if you have that old textbook, man, that's out of date. Everything's changing year to year, year to year, and
I think those old
crazy.
textbooks. I think those old textbooks only relate to like high school and under. And I think college do have the same textbooks, but I think as you said it, I think they are evolving. But some of them are still the same, like you said. But like we were talking about earlier too, is people want to find out their own answers, and it's easy to do that now because they always have a phone in their hand. It's easier because nowadays you got that still can't say it, chat
GPT, I think is what it is. I think that's what it's called, chat GPT.
You that's a new thing, and then you hear these articles coming out with like these kids getting caught with it, because their teacher knows how to look for that kind of stuff now. You know what I mean? And before that,
they have like certain databases they can put it in, and it's like, oh yeah, no, this is pulled from this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so things like that.
Yeah, man. I forgot to mention that.
Get it yourself, find it your own. Educate yourself. Be a jack of all trade. You don't have to always do one thing or stick to that one thing. That's like something you were saying. Be a jack of all trade. Sharpen those tools in the shed. Dust those old clippers off if you have something, or
Exactly. Yeah.
The old gloves that you used to have, dust them off, hit that punching bag like you used to back in the day. There's a fire deep down inside you and you got to find it. No one else is going to find it for you.
Just let it burn.
Let that be the quote of the day right there.
Let it burn. I forgot to mention that we are going to global, man.
What's going on this weekend, dude?
We're going to global.
What's going on this weekend, dude?
20th. So today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
Global is Saturday.
20th.
Global dub. It's crazy. I was there 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
With the main lineup. Yep, 10 years ago, 2013. It was, main line was Flux Pavilion.
And the thing about
Zomboy.
Red Rocks is like when you go up there, they have the plaques up there. So when you go, you're going to have to take a picture of
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They remodeled it. Remodeled it. So we go, well, I've never been there.
I haven't been there in a while.
I've only been there after the remodel. I guess like they remodeled the bathrooms. They put in a new couple booths and stuff like that. And they put in a whole new thing up top.
And, to be honest, every time I get there, I just go right in the middle. I don't really venture out that much. So every time I've been there, I really haven't looked around.
Well, we'll get there early, bro. And we'll do that. But we have to get in quick because, like I said, the last time we went out and we went to go get a hoodie real quick because it was cold.
You were telling me and then you came back and you're
plenty of
gone.
room, dude. There's plenty of room, dude. It was like people were just like barely showing up. We got our hoodies and came back up.
Stoked, man.
Boom, packed. So
I'm so stoked.
Yeah, man. It was going to be a fun time, man.
It's going to be a super fun time. If you guys are there, you might see me. You might not.
Hit me up.
But you'll feel my energy. You dig? Yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait for Zomboy, Flux. Adventure Club. That's one I haven't heard of, but I heard they're good. So I'm excited to hear them as well. You know what I mean?
Andy C. and then Futton Case and Stellar, right? Adventure Club, Zomboy. Should be a good time, man. I'm excited.
Yep. So if you're going, man, live it up.
I'm excited to look up at the stars.
See that skyline. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But as always, guys, we're running out of time. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell.
Bing.
And enjoy the rest of your week, Misfits. Peace.